Welcome back to the Samantha Show. I'm your host, Samantha. You can call me Sam, just don't call me Sammy. This is a very special episode because this is the episode after the national pageant, after the Mrs. American finals, the very next day. And I am recording this episode before I've even left for Vegas. So it's like, I was thinking, how am I going to, that episode has to be intentional for me, that episode after the national pageant. But what am I going to talk about? Because I haven't experienced it yet. And I thought the greatest thing that I could do is reflect on the journey that got me to nationals, what it was like preparing to get there, to take this trip and to do this, and really just talk into that, the growth, all of these things, because regardless of the outcome of the pageant, I always talk about it's the journey that really counts at the end of the day. And so I want to talk about that journey and what it has been like getting to nationals. So admittedly, this summer, I took on an extra big work project. I'm planning this car show, and I got the opportunity to do this car show, which I had overseen and done several years ago, 8, 9, 10 years ago. And so I was pretty privy to it. And the executive director of this nonprofit organization called me and was like, hey, we need somebody to do this event. Would you want to do it? And this was before the state pageant. And so I kind of went back and forth because I was like, man, if I win at state and get to go to nationals in Vegas, planning this car show and preparing for nationals would be a major undertaking. And then I also had this mindset. It was like, well, Samantha, you can't stop your life for the potential opportunity to go to Vegas. You got to take opportunities when they feel right, and you should do that. So I agreed to do this car show. And then, 2 weeks later, week and a half later, I was like, here we are. Now I'm preparing for nationals as well as planning this major car show. We get 3,000 people that come out. There's a preview party the day of show. So a very, very big event that is set to take place about 2 weeks from now. So I'm getting ready for nationals. My schedule was so busy, all right, a lot, because what happens is Ohio's state pageant is actually one of the last states to compete. So our turnaround time to prep for nationals is very, very quick. And I kind of knew this going into the state pageant. I had to mentally kind of think about what that might look like if I were then transitioning, moving on to nationals, because that turnaround time is so fast. So there's, definitely not a lot of time to completely change your platform and your mission and things like that. And it shouldn't change, right? That's you. So, as far as interview prep and your bio, that paperwork is due a week and a half or 2 weeks right after the pageant. So you're immediately diving in. I dove in, started looking at paperwork, getting my bio ready, my MC scripts ready for swimsuit, evening gown, what they're going to read on stage. And I didn't have a ton of time to really think about it. So I went with my gut on a lot of it, right? I'm so big on authenticity. This whole experience has been about just showing up as me. Just do it as me. Go with your gut. And so that's what really a lot of the national prep was for me. We did have to work very quickly to get headshots in. So we have our sponsor, our amazing photographer sponsor, Rick Martinez. We got to go to his house and do these headshots. I shared a lot of that on social media. And Rick is just so wonderful. He is so helpful in guiding you. And he was so fast to turn around these headshots for us, these beautiful photos. So we were in there, we're doing that. I had a lot of help from our director, Christy. I leaned so heavily on all of my key players in this. So our director, Christy, was so helpful. And I was just like, what do I need to submit? What do I do here? What can I wear this? I mean, literally preparing for the wardrobe. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but Christy was just very great. She picked out the headshot with Rick and the team. They picked it out just because they understand the brand and what they're looking for, all of these different pieces. So I did feel like as busy and kind of chaotic as it all felt, I 100% felt like I had a team of people with me every step of the way. And that's such a comforting feeling to say, hey, I got people on my phone I can call when I'm confused or need help. specifically wardrobe. So when we first started, we kind of had our first wardrobe meeting at Henry's Cloud9, our amazing wardrobe dress sponsor. And I found my evening gown, which I just loved so much. And Ryan, our coach, was there. She's a sponsor as well. Thank you, Ryan. And I brought some clothes. They're like, bring everything you have. Well, listen, your girl, she doesn't have a lot of pageant clothes. All right. She hasn't been in pageantry for more than 5 minutes. So like my collection was limited, and we put together a couple looks, but I went home and it had been like a week, and I didn't feel like my outfits had the Samantha pizzazz and flair that I really wanted to take with me to Vegas, because again, I just wanted to enjoy every single day in this experience. I wanted to take so much social media content. And so I wanted to have outfits that felt so like me and just were a little bit more bold and sparkly. And so I texted our director, and I was like, Christy, I need help with wardrobe. I don't feel good about it. I don't feel good about my rehearsal outfits. Like I want something more. Can you help me? She called in the troops. So she had Kristen Houchin, Mrs. Ohio America 2021, come to my house. Kristen brought so many outfits and clothes for me to try on. It was incredible. My whole living room had clothes literally everywhere. We had Shaylin Ford. She won Mrs. World in 2021. She was on FaceTime helping because she was a former Ohio winner as well. And then I had Christy on Zoom. And so literally the three of them just helped me match and mix outfits and put clothes together. I borrowed so many outfits from Kristen, from Shaylin, and then I had some of my own clothes as well. And truly, I called them the fashion committee. Like by the end of prep, they were officially my fashion committee. So anytime I had a new outfit or clothes that I wanted to see if it made sense or would work, I would like message it to the fashion committee to get their opinions and their votes. So it really, this prep process has been a village group effort. And I had just kind of mentioned this, but that was such a comforting feeling in the prep process, because it can get overwhelming. It can get crazy and hectic. And to feel like you have a team of people that are there to support you in whatever capacity that looks like is so great. There was one particular day, I think it was the fashion day, the day we worked on all the clothes, I actually ended up FaceTiming our most previous Mrs. Ohio American, Megan Whiting, and we were just chatting, and she really came through for me on the emotional side. I kind of had this like mental breakdown with her, I think just because of the weight of the situation and how busy I felt and like, how am I supposed to pull this off? And I was so grateful to have that connection moment with her to talk things through. So again, just people showing up for me in so many different ways has been awesome. So great. One of my big pieces here that kind of stressed me out, that I didn't know what to do, was for my national costume. And so putting together this national costume was a little bit of a project. I decided to go with an astronaut because Ohio has a lot of history with space and aviation. So as far as aviation goes, the Wright brothers, we're from Dayton, Ohio. And so wanted to kind of honor and represent the aviation side, but as well as space. We have John Glenn, Neil Armstrong, both from Ohio, so many great astronauts. So I was like, okay, let's go with a space theme. So I got a space astronaut costume literally off of Halloween Express, I think. And it came, I was like, okay, this is perfect. Christy's like, I dig it, but you got to bedazzle it. You got to make it shine and sparkle for a Vegas stage. So I did that. And then I was like, okay, I also want to somehow create stars. How can I build stars overhead? And then like maybe even have a moon with it as well, because some of these costumes, people get really creative with it, and I'm like, it might look kind of crazy or it might work out. I don't really know, but again, it's about fun, right? And I'm like, let's do it. So worked on building that out. My mom helped me get some supplies, and then really it was quite easy to build once I figured out how I was going to do it. A lot of hot glue glue gun, and just science, weight, balance, science. I'm so good with science. No, but it was cool. And I'm speaking into the future here, but it pulled off and it came off quite well. We're going to say that. That's what we're going to say because I'm manifesting it. And so a lot of fun putting that costume together. I had to ship a couple boxes to Vegas. That was interesting. And then get everything packed. But I think, the amazing thing that I learned about myself in this process, the biggest lesson, I think, is that it'll get done. What needs to get done will get done. And every time in this process that I felt, especially preparing for nationals, overwhelmed from executing work, managing really 2 jobs right now between Cycle Bar and then this car show with Dayton History, Carillon Park, and preparing for nationals, I have great time management skills. That was a lesson I learned. I learned that you have to prioritize every single day. What's the most important thing that needs to get done today? That mindset really helped me in prioritizing while juggling so many things. And then being so intentional about having time with my family, my husband and my daughter specifically, was so vital for me to keep my mindset clear, my head clear, to keep myself grounded, to allow myself to have fun when things get busy. I also, when preparing for nationals, I auditioned for a new fitness brand, not a new fitness brand, new for me. And I'm going to start training as soon as I get back from Vegas to teach there. So I think for me in this process, I realized that life is transitioning. It's moving. I have a skill set of juggling a lot of things at once, prioritizing time management. So I'm proud of myself. Like that, I'm proud of everything that I have taken on and accomplished up to this point. And I'm so grateful, and I talk about gratitude so much. And every single day when preparing for nationals, I wake up early to work out and to start my day, and I really try to place gratitude at the top of my day, at the top of my morning every single day, because I knew things were going to get busy and get chaotic, and it can be very easy when life gets that way to lose sight of the beauty of the moment and the situation that's actually here. And anytime I started to feel kind of stressed about nationals or uneasy about the pageant situation, I kept reminding myself that this is a gift. Getting to do this is such a once in a lifetime deal. And the level of gratitude that I've had throughout this process because of that has really helped me to maintain a positive outlook and mindset that has helped me to stay calm, relatively calm, and just look forward to the entire nationals experience. And so really just so much gratitude for this and for every single human that stepped up and helped me in whatever capacity that may be, related to the pageant, related to work, related to Cycle Bar, like all these different people. So many people helped me prepare for nationals in one way or another, and especially my parents. My mom and dad have absolutely been the key players for this experience and helping me have this opportunity, both from a financial standpoint, from an emotional support standpoint, from an actual mom sewing so many hook and eye, little hooks, zippers, things everywhere. So I have to give my parents a massive shout out for helping me do this, giving me the opportunity to do this, supporting me in a way that allows me to do this, because I could not have done it without them. So like I said, we are recording this with no idea how things turn out, but I will say, so let's speak as if it is Wednesday, August 28th. Thank you to all of you for supporting me in this journey. And I hope I made Ohio proud. Next week, I'll give you a full recap on what the experience in Vegas truly was like day to day. And I can't wait to tell you all about it. I hope you have a really great day because you deserve it.